Welcome to the Circle of Trust podcast with your host, law firm CMO Keith Dyer. Brought to you by LexGrow, the leader in law firm marketing strategy, training, and implementation. If you're ready to grow your law firm with predictable case flow and revenue, you're in the right place.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Circle of Trust podcast. I'm joined by a friend and colleague that I've known for a couple years, and we met at a PILMA conference, I think back in 2022, Mr. Gabriel Stiritz, the founder of Lexamica. This is a fascinating company. I'm excited to talk about it today. Basically, Lexamica, and you stop me when I'm wrong, Gabriel, is a platform that connects lawyers and clients through what you call smart referrals. And so I won't try to explain this any further. I would rather the founder of the company explain what it. So tell us all about it.
Keith, thanks for having me on. It's a real pleasure getting to reconnect with you and
It
talk
is.
again. Yeah, the long and short version is that we help lawyers to facilitate referrals from the matching part, which is finding the right lawyer for that referred case, tracking those cases through as they move through completion, and then getting paid on your referrals. And we have primarily we're focused on single event, personal injury. We also do employment, mass tort, anything in the contingency space. It's strictly a lawyer to lawyer platform. And we really are able to help lawyers to take any cases that they don't want to handle and make that money on those claims without having to do any extra work.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about how a lawyer may join it and what that process is like for them and what their role is in making this work.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple ways, but the main thing that we're doing is we're working with law firms that are marketing for claims or have some type of brand presence where they have cases coming in. They may be out of state, they may be case types that they don't handle themselves, or maybe something where like you take cases, but you're really top of market and you have smaller claims that still have value, but you want to refer those out down market. Law firms, we are a services company, so you can talk to us. We'll help understand if we can create value for you based on the number of leads that you're getting in, what you're turning down. And then from there, there's an onboarding process to help to connect directly. We integrate with whatever CRM you're on, help you integrate with that. We do the legwork on that. And then from there, we automate the referral process so that you don't have to touch it anymore. So for larger law firms, we're even bringing on their referral partners with them to help manage that whole existing network. We also have a network of thousands of attorneys all over the country. And so we can bring and help you build a network just out of the box. So it depends on the size of the firm, but it's really easy to get started with it. And if you are a smaller firm and you're interested in acquiring cases, you can join as well, just to be a potential partner for the law firms that are referring cases out. So we're in all 50 states, and we are working with lawyers across the board on the contingency side.
So if I was a law firm owner or whatever, and I got it, and I'm in North Carolina, but somehow I got a case in Wyoming, I could go onto your network and find a lawyer in Wyoming that'd be willing to take that case.
So it's a little bit different than that because everything that we do is real time. So if you have a case and you don't have a home for it, you put it into Lexamica and it will match in real time to the best lawyer that we have available for that case. And so you'll instantly know the name of the lawyer, the phone number, their point of contact, so that you could even live transfer that client over to the other law firm. That's primarily for motor vehicle accidents. For med mal and employment, it's hey, we're going to send you over to this law firm, they'll reach out and get back to you. But it's all, the matching itself is done in real time. And if the first attorney doesn't take the case, we can send it to second, third attorney in line so that you get multiple looks on that case, the highest chance that it gets accepted and retained.
I got it. So it's much more automated than what I described. Drop the case into the system and it matches it automatically with someone that can, for an attorney that can handle it. That's really cool. I love that. I've always liked this product. I've always thought it was cool. So let's back up a little bit and tell us about Gabriel. How did you get into this? I know that you worked for a firm for a while. I remember when I met you, you were working for a firm maybe in Little Rock. Are you still living in Little Rock?
I am. Yep, I'm here in Little Rock. Yeah, so the background, I worked in a plaintiff's employment law firm. So I was the operations, technology, HR lead there, and we were we automated a lot of our processes. So we had built out a custom Salesforce instance to manage the entire caseload, all the matters in intake, integrated that into the federal court document system, into Pacer to pull documents into our docs. And we were doing a lot of referrals. So we would get employment claims from all over the country from law firms that would advertise, and they would get employment calls in and know what to do with them and send them to us. And so it was just a really bad process. We had 50, 70 different referral partners all sending cases, all asking for updates in different ways. Here's a spreadsheet, here's an email, literally getting a fax for updates on referrals in 2019. And so we'd done so much work internally, we started looking outside of the law firm and saying, how can we automate and solve for for referrals? And as we did research, we realized that this is not just something that a few lawyers do, but every lawyer refers claims to other lawyers, and everyone does it the same way, which is using spreadsheet, email, sticky notes to manage that entire process for their firm. And so we started just saying, how do we improve the process? And that one of the interesting things to me about referrals is that it's not something that anyone had solved for technologically before. So Litify Referral Network existed at the time for Litify users, but for the most part, there just wasn't anything out there from a tech perspective. So started working on it and building it and testing it internally. And then in 23, we started to go outside the law firm and bring other lawyers on board.
That's so cool. And you've always had such a great technical background. How did you get in? Like, tell us about your younger years, where you went to school, and like what you did before the time that you led up to that Little Rock law firm.
Yeah, I would say that I am incredibly unqualified for any job that I've ever had. I went to art school and then have a degree in photography, took that and then went and worked for a nonprofit and operations, fundraising, technology there, did that for a decade, helped them scale and grow up in New Jersey. And then I took that operational know-how and brought that over into a law firm. So domain agnostic experience, building technology, HR systems, business systems, finance, administration, accounting, all of that, took that from nonprofit over to law firm. And like, I just have found opportunities to make things better and done that. That's really the best way to summarize my whole career, and find it really interesting to see problems that haven't been solved for yet and create solutions for them. So referrals is that on probably like the biggest scale so far, because it's an industry-wide thing, but really it's just a direct line from helping to create better systems for people to use.
I love it. And so now you find yourself an entrepreneur, and look what you've been able to piece together from all that experience. That is a talent in and of itself, in my opinion. And I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. So your offices now are in Little Rock. Do you have offices anywhere else? You probably don't need them anywhere else, do you?
Yeah, so we are based in Little Rock, but we have a team all over the country, all over the world. So as in this domain, law firms, they're all over the country. The big ones, they're at all these conferences. And so there's really no geographic place that you need to be for a referral network to exist. We really live in the cloud and we live in conferences. And that's what's interesting to me is like being in Arkansas, that's really to be closer to family and for personal reasons, but it hasn't really changed anything. We're at the same conferences, we're building technology. And so you can have a remote first company and really build anywhere these days. I think it's amazing because you have opportunities to build things that you really couldn't do in the past.
Yeah, my staff I don't have a physical office. I have this section of my apartment that I work out of, but my staff is from Pakistan, Venezuela, and then I've got people in the US as well and other places. So I get that. Yeah, we definitely have entered into a Zoom world where unless you have some reason to be in a location, you don't have to. So do you plan on maybe staying in Little Rock for a while, or are you going to maybe try to do something different?
I don't have any plans to move. This is home for now.
With kids?
Yes, we have kids, and so that creates some stability location wise.
How many children do you have?
We've got 4.
Wow, that's cool.
So it's busy on every front. There's no downtime.
I appreciate you making time for this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, but look, the space has been interesting. It's grown a lot since we started. There's more and more law firms that are either focusing on marketing or focusing on handling cases. And a platform like Samica that's designed for law firms to very efficiently market for and then send out cases that they don't intend to handle or to acquire cases at scale is actually proven to be something that is more useful than we initially anticipated, which was more of a place for law firms to post the cases that they weren't going to handle, mostly by accident. But it's really interesting how many law firms have started to focus on referrals either as like a piece of their business or as the entire business model, especially the ABS model out of Arizona. Several of those have taken a referrals first or co-counsel approach to will market, but it's easy to scale marketing, right? You can go and you can deploy money into marketing quickly, but you can't scale the operations. So if you're trying to deploy a large amount of capital quickly, you want to deploy it in marketing, and then you want to find law firms that will handle those cases that have already established their operations across the country. And so the landscape has changed dramatically, and I'm sure you're seeing this with your clients, but you have law firms that are really not connected to a single geography that are going in and finding good places to market. They're marketing for cases, but then they're looking for co-counsel partners, or they're doing it first before they start marketing, but they're building co-counsel networks, and then they're having other law firms actually handle those claims. So I think the general landscape for who's doing marketing and is it all verticalized inside of law firms, it's starting to actually turn into, again, very early trends where you have large marketers that are generating claims and then more law firms are handling them on a fee sharing basis.
Yeah, I am seeing that. And I'm also seeing, like you said, uh, lawyers that are successful in one market, they'll find another market to be in, and they can build with referrals in those markets, right? They can grow their business in a different way, is really what you're saying in a nutshell.
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of opportunities now for law firms. There's two opportunities that are mirror images. One is if you're good at marketing, do that. There's new ways to market that people have not been able to do. There's lower barriers to entry in some ways to get on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and start to build a following there. Digital marketing can have pretty low barriers to entry where before you had to spin up a TV campaign or a radio campaign. And then on the other side, there's more and more firms that are just trying to get cases placed out and with co-counsel. And so you can build a business entirely on fee sharing without going out and spending marketing dollars on day one, which is a really capital efficient way to start your own practice if you can partner with the right law firms.
Absolutely. And that's a cool trend. And it's a great opportunity across the board for many different reasons and for different people, including myself and you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious. Yeah, it's been good on that front. And I think our focus has just been creating a completely seamless experience so that a law firm that's referring a case can send it in. And this is what we're doing, but we're constantly optimizing and refining. They push the case into like Samica, one time sync from their CRM or from Zapier or via our app if they need to. And then from there, like Samica picks it up and just does absolutely everything else for them, matches it with the right attorney, tracks the case, make sure they get updates every single point along the way, and then get paid on the case. And so we are the only full cycle referral co-counsel management platform. There's a few other products on the market that will purportedly will help you match to a good attorney, but no one else cares. Once the match is made, no one else cares. They don't try to give you updates on the case. You are totally on the hook for hunting down the law firm that you connected with and begging them for updates, and it's awful. And we have, for the cases that go into our system, we have a whole compliance checklist. We need the retainer. We need milestone updates on the case. When you close the case, here's more documents you have to provide. And we have 99% compliance on every single claim that goes through our system. So after the match, we retain that tracking and that visibility on the case so that you have the same level of insight into your outside claims as you would expect from your own employees. And I think that's the real thing is people treat their referrals like it's mailbox money. And really what it is, it's still your marketing dollars. It's still your bar license. It's not mailbox money. It's the same kind of return that you need to get and the same risk level if you're co-counseling that you would have on an inside claim. So we really help to raise the bar on referrals and co-counsel across the board.
I love that. That's great. I love the product, and I think it's really interesting. This has been a fascinating discussion. What more would you like to tell us about the product?
I
You've outlined it pretty clearly what your USP is and what you're all about. And I think it's a great product. I'm really excited to actually introduce you to a couple of our firms that we work with. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to take this recording and send it directly to a couple guys that I know are interested in this type of growth. And as we mentioned, it's another way to grow your law firm. And that's what LexGrow is all about, is let's explore all the different opportunities that we have. And this is one, I remember meeting you a couple of years ago. I haven't kept in touch with everybody else. I remembered you though, and I wanted to get back in touch with you and talk about this.
I really appreciate it, Keith. It's really a pleasure getting to chat with you again. It's fun because last time we talked, this was really a concept, something we were working on the background on, and now we have a full-fledged company around it.
Yeah, and I remember seeing you at I went to two of those conferences, and the second time I came, and you were like, "You remember me?" I was like, "Yeah, I remember you." So because we had another call, and I remember pretty clearly where you were with everything. And I want to say congratulations. It's not easy to build a platform and grow a business, especially as a family man. You got very little time. So I want to say kudos to you on that. And I appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. I'm going to wrap it up here so we can it's a Friday afternoon, and I know I'm burned out, but I appreciate the time, and thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on, Keith. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Gabriel.
Thanks for listening to the Circle of Trust powered by LexGrow. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow us and leave a review. Want to grow your law firm faster? Book a free strategy call at lexgrow.com. Until next time, keep growing, keep innovating. Let's grow with LexGrow.